Hello, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whenever it is, wherever you are. Welcome to me testing the limits of my self discipline and potentially solving one of the biggest issues that I have as a musician. Now, I have two music degrees. One, I have my bachelor's in vocal performance, and I have my master's in vocal performance and opera. I have taught voice lessons and piano lessons for the past 2 or so years. And I just gotta say it, I have a confession to make. I sympathize with my students. I suck at practicing. And sometimes I find it really boring. And I know I'm not alone in that feeling. So I decided to make a challenge for myself. Now, normally when people make these challenges, I see a lot of month-long challenges, year-long challenges. I know myself, I know my limits. I think a week is enough of a challenge, especially to practice consistently and practice every day. So I set my goal to practice every day for 30 minutes for 7 days. And on the very last day, to perform one of the songs I worked on at church because it was our Christmas singing program that we had. Now, here's the big question: can you improve at a skill in regards to myself, guitar, in a week? So I did make myself 3 big goals. My first big goal was to have smoother chord changes in the 2 songs that I was going to work on this week. My second goal was to be able to play without staring at the fret hand the entire time. And my last and biggest goal was to perform one of my songs. Now, I worked on Jesus Paid It All and Mary Did You Know because they worked on 2 different styles based on the arrangements that I was using, half of which I made up myself. For Mary Did You Know, it was an arpeggiated finger picking style, and for Jesus Paid It All, it was strumming. I did not use a pick to strum. I am not friends with guitar picks yet. Don't fight me. It's just something I'm gonna have to get used to. I will say the first day is always the easiest because it is novelty, it is fresh, it is new. You still have the fiery passions of motivation fueling you to do the thing that you set out to do. Girl, if you knock that camera over, I will knock you over. We have our cats in the house. Normally they stay outside, but she is very curious about everything. This hair keeps falling in my face. Monday was the easiest day of the challenge because I was okay with being bad at things, although it still was taking me an entire year to transition from chord to chord. If this finger would just stop being weird. It's time for dinner. Tuesday was pretty much the same thing as Monday. I was not necessarily any better at any of the things that I practiced, but I was a little bit more familiar with them. And I practiced this really cool blues lick that I heard my dad play one time, so I picked it up that year because I thought it would be fun and funky. Just take a second to appreciate the face of a true artist. Wednesday was actually a lot better. I was getting more familiar with the chord transitions and was able to look away just a teensy bit more. Also, strumming was not as difficult and didn't feel as uncomfortable, although for some reason, looking at it now, my hand and my wrist look kind of floppy, but it's okay. There were little bits of improvement here and there, and that's what we're looking for. That was cute. I'm glad I got that on camera. It's okay. You can play things slow. You can play it slow. You can play it fast. I'll just say this. Thursday was the most Thursday-ish Thursday to ever Thursday. I was feeling bleh, my hand-eye coordination was off, I was tired, I made lots of bad and quite angry guitar sounds that night. Let your heart be light. My cat did decide to join me at the very end of my practice session, which redeemed the evening a little bit, I think. Is that time for me to be done? Friday was infinitely better. It was as though my brain had done a hard reset and everything was refreshed and new. I had gotten plenty of sleep, plenty of water, and my hand-eye coordination was as on point as it could have been for the time. The transitions from chord to chord for both of the songs I was working on were pretty easy, relatively speaking, because I'd gotten familiar with them, I'd pretty much memorized them. Oh, that your baby boy would. Baden, you make it very difficult to play guitar. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? This child that you've delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know? Are you trying to make air biscuits? Saturday, I think, was one of the best days, if not the best day. I was getting more comfortable with the chords. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? I managed to have time practicing where I was not looking at my hand, which was great. I made it through an entire iteration of the progressions for Mary Did You Know, mostly looking up and out and around, not looking at my hand. Now, I wasn't singing that time, but I still feel like that's a good bit of progress. If that is not the face of pure musical expression, I don't know what to tell you. The calluses on my fingers were building up, and I was able to play longer without feeling ow on my fingers. I felt good, and I think all in all, Saturday was my favorite day. Now, performance day, Sunday. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? I practiced for probably over an hour before, and it was going really smoothly. Things were going really well. I was transitioning from chord to chord decently well, and then I got up in front of people to perform and backtrack just a little bit. That happens. That happens, especially if it's something that you're not used to, like a new instrument that you're performing for people and you're still very new at it. It can be nerve wracking to get up in front of people and suddenly your brain erases everything that you've done for the past however long you've been working on it. But I did manage to make it through the performance with minimal pausing. I did stare at my hand the whole time, but that's okay. I'll take it. I didn't really fumble any of the chords, which I count a win. Overall, can you improve at an instrument or a thing in a week? Yes. There are a lot of varying factors. It depends on what you're practicing, how long you practice, the goal of your practice, and ultimately what you view as improvement. Being new to guitar and having only practiced for, probably maximum 30 days every week, I feel pretty proud of what I did. I think I definitely did make improvements as far as those two songs go. I also did work on some scales because I used a couple of different YouTube channels with exercise and warm-ups and different technique information videos. So I will link those channels below because they are 10 out of 10 recommend for beginner and those that are self-teaching, because self-teaching can be rough. There is an overwhelm of information out there and it's hard to know where to begin because everyone has a different opinion about what technique you should use and where you should start and how you should, I don't know, blink while you hold your guitar. I'll link the ones that I used and the information and resources that I would recommend for those in my position, but I'm sure there are 1,000 different things that might work for any of you out there. Please go and watch the full performance video from Sunday that I posted. I posted that earlier. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video to someone that's trying to learn a new thing and gets intimidated by the idea of, oh, eventually somewhere in the future I will be good at the thing I'm bad at right now. Just show them that a week can make progress. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.